Hi everyone, it's Jean from Jean's Gems. Today's project for National Hispanic Heritage Month is from Panama, and it's called a Mola, M-O-L-A. And what molas are is it's sort of a quilting technique of what they call reverse appliqué, where you can use layers of fabric and you sew them down onto a square, whether it be felt or fabric. And then the Cuna women of Panama put these appliques or fabric designs on their blouses. So it's kind of like a traditional dress for the Cuna women of Panama. So today I'm going to show you my version of that. And there are a couple different ways that you can do this. If you are a quilter and you're familiar with applique and you would like to do a quilted version, they're very beautiful and colorful. I don't have quilting skills, but I am going to use both fabric and paper in my design. So if you're familiar with any type of drawing that is kind of folk artish from the Latin American countries, a lot of times you see them drawing things like fish, birds, flowers. What I'm going to attempt to draw, and please forgive me if this looks a little weird, but I'm going to attempt to draw a bird, but I want it to be, I want the bird to be reminiscent of like a cockatiel on its perch. So one of the things that I found that works the best with this type of craft are deliberate round or square shapes, because the easier they are to trace out, the better they're going to look on your finished project. Now, I'm not sure that this is going to work, but I'm just going to show you for, this is just for drawing's sake. If you wanted to do something like a beautiful bird, you know, you certainly could draw something like this. And that's not really, this is not that great of a drawing, because I told you I'm not much of an artist when it comes to this sort of thing. But I think that with the style of the Mola, having a design that's just kind of blocked out like this, and then the tail kind of going this way, it really helps to create, maybe that's what it needs, a fatter belly. It really helps to create a design that's easy to trace and shows up nice on like a darker piece of paper. So let's just say, for example, I don't know if that looks like a bird or a seahorse, but just for example, you would draw your design. Okay, after you draw your design that you want to use, you would cut that design out. And that would be your template. So what I've chosen to use today is this interesting fish. It was a little bit easier to draw, honestly. And I'm going to use a combination of both fabric and paper. because I have some solid pieces of fabric. I thought I had orange, and I said that yesterday, and I still can't find the orange, but that's okay. I substituted it with the red paper. So basically the process, I have some blue in here, and then the base is like a golden yellow. So the process for this is to take your template and basically cut out around the design. So the initial one, I'm going to cut exactly the size of the fish. So we will trace this, and I'm just using pencil because I don't want the lines to show when I don't have one of those chalk markers. I need to get one. But these are so beautiful and colorful, and when you see some of the designs that they make, the women make, they're just quite amazing. Okay, let me see if I got this other piece. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. So as you can see, I've cut out the design, and then I'm going to go around the edge and just trim it out. Now, of course, cutting with paper is certainly easier, but the nice thing about this fabric I have, it's a stiffer. Did I just cut off his... Oh no, okay, I see it. I thought I cut off his fin. It's a thicker, I don't know if it's a cotton or a polyester, but I like it because it's heavier than what I would think a cotton would be, and also it holds its shape well. So, now you can do this one of two ways. You can cut your template, and then you can make your fish smaller as you go or larger as you go. And I keep all these scraps, and I'll show you why at the end. So I'm just going to cut here where his mouth is, and then around to this fin. Just making sure I have my light on. And this fin. We'll be getting to the time where the time will be changing again, and then I'll really need to hook some lights up in here. Because I have my window open, I don't have a curtain on it, and I use a lot of the natural light, but we'll see. We'll see how things go in the next week or so, because I think someone's going to have to use this room, and I'm not exactly how they plan on doing it, because it's full of totes of fabric and all kinds of stuff when my brother comes to stay. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, so here, okay, let me cut that in a little bit more. Come on. I was listening to my video yesterday, and I make all these crazy sounds. Sorry about that, guys. So here is our fish design, right? So I need to go around this a tiny bit more because I can see the pencil markings, and I don't want to see those. That's why it's nice if you have, I'm sure my mom has one here somewhere, but I just don't know where it is right at the second. I had a white colored pencil that I was hoping would do it, but for the tracing, but it wouldn't work, so. I think they used to make white ones, and if I'm not mistaken, blue ones. Okay, just go over here a little bit. I don't think that this is going to show as much when we get the complete design done, but I want it to look good, so I'm going to do that extra trimming. Okay, so here we have our fish body. There he is. And we know that this is the first piece we want. So we're going to take our glue and we are going to glue him down to the purple. And I don't want a whole lot of glue because this glue tends to run a little bit. It's great glue. It glues well, but it'll run out a little bit. Like I didn't want it to do that, but that's okay. Let me see what color side I have this on. I'm going to put it on the other side anyway. Oh, there's glue there. Okay. So let's just glue this guy down like this, and make sure he's not upside down. And all these little boo-boo things will be fine. So after we glue down this part of the fish, then what we want to do is we want to draw onto the purple right around it, but leave a border. So we want to leave a border so that when we cut this out, he will have a border of purple on top of the green. It doesn't have to be super thick, just depends on how many layers you end up doing. I will probably do I was thinking about doing 5, but I may not. We'll see how long it takes just to do this one. So I'll cut this guy out. And actually, you wouldn't have to draw around it. You could just eyeball it and, you know, make sure you leave a sliver of purple around the edge so that you get the applique look. And we'll do his mouth. And once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quickly. So I'm just going to do this one, and then hopefully this won't be too big for me to use the yellow next, because I'm not sure how big that yellow piece of fabric is. I might have a bigger one over here. These are fun crafts for kids too, because if they're just using paper and basically tracing around the edges, not a hard project for like first or second graders, as long as they can use the scissors pretty well, or maybe even a little bit older. And I haven't decided, because of the size of this, exactly how my fish is going to fit in my journal, but we will figure out something for him. So there you go. We have that purple on there, right? So now, let me just position this so that we can get some yellow. So I'm going to go around the edges here just a little bit. You just need enough to tack it down so it doesn't go anywhere. Make sure you get your edges. And then I'm going to put him on the yellow, and I'm going to tilt him a little bit so I make sure that I have enough material to cut around him. And actually, I'm not going to draw this one. I'm just going to wing it, because now we're getting a stiffer piece of material, so it's easier to just hold it and cut. And these are really nice colors too. I have to use purple because I love purple instead of pink, Kim. It's funny how certain colors we gravitate to and others that we don't care for, but a lot of times we still use them in our art because we know that other people love them. Now, I like pink. I probably wouldn't wear any pink. You usually don't see me in anything other than like gray, black, maybe blue, but it has navy blue. I'm a winter anyway, and I just think those colors look better on me. And I've been fighting with my husband, not fighting, but we've been going back and forth about me dyeing my hair, and I just don't really want to do it anymore. I'm so tired of dyeing it, and I've been dyeing my hair probably since I was, at least for the last 30 years, and I just don't want to do it anymore. It's too much of a hassle, and then you have to re-dye it after a couple weeks, and I was having trouble after having COVID with it falling out. And I tell you, I'm just thankful that, okay, cool. I have enough to do the red. Now there's a slice right there, so let me see. I'm going to do the red on top of this orange. Oops. So the project itself doesn't take very long. Oops. I didn't mean to put all that extra glue on there. So this is the Mola style of actually going around and around and around and cutting the design out and just leaving a little bit of the layers. So if you are someone who knows how to quilt, this would be a very cute quilting project. Even if you did just a block and made it a placemat or something. So this fishy is almost getting too big to put in our journal. So what, we'll have to see how he works. Yes, he works out. Oops, I don't want to go that close, but that's okay. So I put the post on my Facebook group in case you all wanted to participate. I really don't have a template, or not a template, but I don't really have a specific freebie for this one today. But if you want to participate, you know, you can do whatever animal you want. You can do one of the, like the bird of paradise that I was trying to make that came out looking like a seahorse. There is one other one I did. Let me see if it's laying here close. That's just my fish. Maybe it's laying over here. This is a little bird. So a little bird would be more practical to put in our journal. So, but that's okay. We're going to go with this. And now, since I'm finished with the actual layering part, I'm going to put this on the orange. And then we'll do a little bit of decorating. This color of cardstock is not actually orange. It's more of a, I don't know, gold color maybe. So I'm just going to put it right here in the middle. Okay, so there we have our center design for the Mola. Now, what, I just need to fix this little point here. It's square and I don't want it square. Okay. So after we finish the actual design for the Mola, then what we want to do is we want to start decorating. So why is this coming up? So that's why I left all these extra pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this yellow, and I'm going to kind of freehand this, so bear with me a second while I figure this out here. I don't know that I want it to be, okay. Let's see. We will put this right here. And let me cut out some more of these. And do you all have stink bugs where you are? They are coming out now, and they are some of the most annoying bugs. I think these need to be shorter. So that they just go into the top of the fin. There we go. Let me see if this one, I might leave it over here for this one. I think it still needs shorter. So, do any of you talk to yourselves while you're doing your projects? I do. call my fish by its name, and talk to myself about what needs to go where. Guilty. This is what we're going to do here. I'm going to put this one here and this one here so that we have them. One is smaller in the middle, and then this one. Okay, so there's the applique for that. And then we can take some of the red, and I'm just going to cut some little strips that are, I don't know, 1/4 inch. I'm just going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to, then I'll have those. And I'm going to put some of them on the side like this. And then I'm going to have some smaller pieces. So let me cut this one in half and put this smaller piece here, smaller piece here, and then we need 2 smaller pieces for the top. And I think what's interesting about these designs is that when you are doing them, keep in mind that the Cuna ladies of Panama, they're making these by hand too, so they're not coming up with any of these crazy designs. They're just making what they think looks good. And I think that's the key to this, is just to play around with the colors that you have and the designs that you have, and that way you get a really cool design. So for this one, I want to make like some wavy things in the middle of the fish's belly. So let me see if I can do this by hand. And I was thinking this one, even if it's too big for our journal, I can certainly do my bird one and it'll fit smaller in the journal and it'll look good. So here we have this little thing. I think I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. So I want it to go right here. All right, let me start gluing some of these down, and then we can decide what else we need. I know I need him to have an eye. So I'm going to put this right here. Hopefully that'll stay down. And then I'm going to take this yellow . When I was much younger, and I lived at home, my mom, I was always so impressed with her. When we were kids, she would color with us, and she would cut out things from construction paper we used then, not this fancy cardstock like we have now. And she would make these beautiful flowers in a bouquet. And I just remember that, her doing that. So I think the idea of me creating things and doing the things I do definitely come from my mom. My father was also, he was into woodworking. Now, my oldest, my brother that's coming this weekend, he actually is a carver, so he can carve spoons and cuscas and all kinds of fun things. And I think that's just really amazing. There are things that I kind of wish I could do with woodcraft, but I haven't ventured to do anything like that, like repurposing furniture and other things I sometimes think I would like to do, but I have my hands full pretty much with my paper and mixed media and fabric crafts. And there's a friend of mine who I watch her channel. Her name is Michelle from the Hobbit. And she says, this is the channel where we are, I don't know exactly how her saying goes. I've heard it a million times, but it's something to the effect that she'll try out anything. However, she's not master of none. And I kind of think that's the way I am. I like too many different things and then end up not really being super good at any of them. Okay, so here we go. We have our Mola, and the fish really needs an eye, and I thought I had brought a piece of black that I had somewhere, but I must not have brought it. Let's just use red. They're red-eyed fish, right? So I'm going to just use my hole punch for this and punch out a red eye. And I'm actually going to punch out, I have some yellow over here. And I will punch out a gold eye. Oops, I wanted one that's bigger. It's kind of funny. It's been cooler here, and and this morning I had a jacket on. Now I feel like I need my fan on. Let me move this out of the way. So we'll put one fisheye here, and the other one on top. So we have a red-eyed fish. And I think I need to put something down here. Let's see, what color could I use? I have the red. Let me see how this looks if I take, maybe this one would be better. This one here, and then actually I'm trying to think. I don't think I want red because I put all the red here. Give me a segundo. I have some light blue over here too that I didn't use in the original design, but that's okay. Well, I want to do some circles so they look like bubbles. Another thing that I have seen with the molas is actually cutting out from underneath and then just filling it in with color. And I'll show you what I mean in here in just a second. Let me cut this one a little bit smaller so our fish can go a little bit smaller on that. There we go. We'll make that one the big one, and then we'll cut one more that'll be in the middle sized. Right here. And let me put those on because those will be like bubbles. And then I will show you how you can cut through the back and make another interesting design. I'll put this guy on. Got the bubbles. Coming out. There we go, that's cute. Now, let me just take this apart a little bit right here. And I am going to draw, where is my pencil? I'm gonna just draw like some coral. Something that'll be easy to cut out. We'll put another one over here. And then maybe, no, I'm just gonna leave this with the coral. Okay, so let me cut these out really quick. This will be awkward, but let me see, can I take it off of this purple paper? I wanted this as like a backing for it, so I took it off, and that'll be a little bit easier to cut it so you all can see. So I'm just going around the edges here of this little bit of sea coral. And then what I will do is I'll put a color on the back of it that will look nice for our overall design. And I actually have some peach material over here, so we'll try the peach. It's kind of opaque though, so we may have to use a different color. And I think these designs would look really nice too if you layered different complementary colors of fabric together, because I have so much fabric that I was thinking, I wonder if I just layer different colors of the fabric and how that would look. Okay, there's a piece. It's kind of hard to cut into this and not worry about the design. I mean the lines that I drew. There we go, that looks better. And then I'll cut this one. And if I cut it around the edge, then I won't have to worry about the pencil mark. One thing I've found that when I use a pencil, I don't know if one of those white erasers would be better, but anytime I use a pencil on cardstock and try to erase it, it just makes, it either takes the surface off of the cardstock or makes it, doesn't erase very well. So I don't know if the white ones would be better or the gum ones would be better, but I try not to have anything that I have to erase that's on cardstock because it's a pain in the bum. Okay, and then I have this other little guy over here. I may have to make him a little bit bigger just because my scissors are big. I don't know if I have any small scissors. I used to have a pair of embroidery ones, but I don't know about you guys. There's certain things in our craft room that just walk off. And what walks off for me is usually scissors, especially when my kids had projects for school or something. Now I just can't find them in general just because of my desk, but scissors are something that I always tend to lose. And it probably would have been helpful. I love these scissors that I got. I don't know, I know they came from Walmart, but I don't know. Oh, they're Fiskars. So I love these scissors, but they are big to get into small places. So kind of big. I'm gonna cut that tiny bit off right there. So here we have our coral. Now what I'm going to do is, let me see how this peach looks. Let me see where I can just tear off a small piece. I don't know about you guys, but I rip all my fabric. I don't usually cut it. Now this is a tiny bit see-through, but I think if I lay it partly on the purple, you won't be able to see it. So let's take a look. What do we think? What do we think? It's too light. It's way too light. Okay, so let me do a little searching here. And let me see if I can find an orange piece. I'll be right back. It'll take me a minute. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to walk over to the other side of the room where I keep all my scrapbook paper. So let's see. That's kind of too much the same color, isn't it? I wonder if I used something printed, just out of curiosity. You know what? I'm just going to use the blue, because I think that's going to show up the best. And I'm just going to try to put this on right at the edge. So I can have, even if it's not supposed to be blue, that's okay. We still like it blue, right? I think it really helps with in combination with the bubbles. So let me trim this. This is way too big. It's still way too big, but we'll just leave it so it'll glue on there well. So that's how you do it, where you actually cut out the design on the paper and then fill it in with a color. So you could certainly do that with like the bird's feathers if you wanted to, or another part of the design. You could fill it in. Now here, this is all. Okay. Now these need a tiny bit of glue, but just a teeny teeny, teeny. So that turned out really nice. I really like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it onto this purple so it has kind of a base to it. There we go. And it's purple with the gold that I think really looks nice. Might be the Ravens colors, Baltimore Ravens. Not a football fan, but I always like to watch Jacoby Jones when he would get a touchdown and he would dance, and I would think it was so funny when I was younger. But this day and age, I can't sit and watch football, that's for sure. So here's our original template. Let me clean this up a teeny tiny bit because I don't need any of these scraps. Oh, I know what I was going to do with the black. Okay, so we'll do this real quick. I got out a package of rickrack. Wait a minute, is this black or brown? It's brown. Okay, I don't have any black, I guess. So we'll just leave it like this. But I was thinking with rickrack, you could put that on here definitely, and that would be reminiscent of the design as well, and definitely help you to create some interesting shapes that would go on the design. So this is how our fish was originally. This is how he turned out. And if you look up online the actual Mola designs, you'll see that as I talked about earlier, there are birds, there are flowers, there's some of them that are just shapes, and the sewing is definitely something that I think adds to it. I could go around the fish with the sewing machine, but it would be tedious for me because of all the you know, the ways I'd have to turn my machine. So I think if you're going to make yourself one, or maybe sit down with the kids and make one, the best thing to use would be paper. If you want to add fabric, sure, that's fine. But overall, I think the fish came out good. And it is reminiscent of the Mola design from Panama. So if you're interested in more about that, I just looked it up on Pinterest so I could see what kind of designs. And if you're better at art than I am, I think you could come up with something quite amazing for a appliqué collage like this. So that is my tribute to Panama, and I hope you enjoyed our little project, even though I had to get up for a second and leave the camera. I apologize. I have to learn how to pause and come back, but I haven't yet. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned because I'm going to have a haul video coming up. I purchased a big lot of jewelry from, like, junk jewelry from eBay. I haven't opened the box yet. I got it yesterday. I want to open it with you all, so I'll be back soon with that. And thank you so much for subscribing. Share the video. There's a post on my website, Lilac Lane Livery, where it mentions if you participate and upload a photo, that there will be a drawing for anyone that participates. And that's really all I had to share with you today. that I can think of. Let me think. I think that's it. But have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and I enjoyed so much this project. So have a great day, guys. Bye for now.